Hey, this is Steve. Sunday, let's see, a little after 5 o'clock. Just finishing up listening to the Extra Mile podcast, number 152, in my right ear. And I'm out for a Sunday afternoon run. So, yesterday was a wet one. I did not record for that reason. But it was a nice run, so I just went out slow and easy. It was a little rainy, but not terrible, and enjoyed that. So today, it is cooler, breezy, and sunny. So we'll take that. It's around 62, 61 degrees. You can hear all the leaf blowers going. Because all the color is starting to fall from the trees. So lots of shades of yellow and green. Some places there's oranges and reds. So I'm running by some sycamore trees right now. There's such big, knotty, K-N-O-T-T-Y trees. And we got them, a number of them around town. I don't have any specific running goal in mind today, except for running the heart-healthy pace. Which is slow. So it's funny, the shapes of our runs that we identify. I think we're doing more cloud interpretation. All the noise on Hellertown Avenue. Let's see, where was I? Oh, cloud interpretation. You know how you see a cloud and it kind of appears like this. We look at our mapped runs and they look kind of like something like Carlos had the witch on the broom kind of taking a dive. Or somebody had a bomb, the A-bomb, Big Bertha, or from Dr. Strangelove, minus, who was that actor? The guy with the southern kind of drawl. Pickens? Anyway, so yesterday when I got done running, reminded me of the state of Texas outline. Somebody said, hey, do Darth Vader next. That's funny. Yeah, usually it's just the way it turns out. Though I have, on occasion, purposed to do a heart shape, for example. That's really about it. I should have a windsock today, but I don't. Hopefully recording the microphone away from the wind input is helping. Some interesting things to pass along.
Average pace 11:21 per mile.
It's like we'll jump away from the cars here. Onto the 4th Street Park. Alright, away from traffic, but not away from the wind. So, Thursday afternoon, I was meeting from our church. We're trying to get a plan in place and identify somebody to organize such things as greeters and ushers, and making sure we have people who are engaging others and making them feel welcome, directing them where they need to go, that kind of thing. So Tom, I had asked Tom to put together a job description. So we planned to meet 1:30 at Starbucks locally. And so we got together, we talked a little bit, kind of worked through what he put together. It's pretty basic. And one of the workers came up to him and said, Sir, is that your Jeep parked there? And he said, yeah, do you need me to move it? That's when I noticed it was really crookedly parked, like almost diagonal, as much space of a parking space you can take up, he took up. And it's because he was parked really crooked. Well, Tom is a retired missionary from Italy and just returned, I'm not sure if it was a year ago or so. So I joked and I said, hey, is that the way they park in Italy? But he goes outside and he goes out to his Jeep and he brings in an iPad. And he's not quite looking right. He kind of comes in, sits down, and I said, Tom, are you okay? Yeah. Like something was bothering him, or I wasn't sure what it was. He had his left fist, looked like he had it around something, but eventually opened it up and there was nothing there. I thought that was odd. So we're talking some more, and the next thing I know, he just slumps forward at the table. I feel for his pulse. There's pulse there. Tried to rouse him. Tom, you okay? Tom? Hey, are you with us? It's like he's out. So he finally seems to come to, but a bit disoriented. I said, Tom, you passed out. And that got his attention. He's like, what? So I said, let me take you to your doctor. They live half the year in Florida. He says, I don't have one here. Yeah, you better take me to the hospital. See, he was not feeling well and knew that was a good idea. So even before he came to, I was ready to dial 911. So get him to my car, and it was kind of a wobbly trek. I called the hospital. It's like 5 minutes away. I said, look, got a friend with me in the car. He says his chest feels a little tight and he's short of breath, and he feels like he's going to throw up. Kind of sounds like he has a heart attack going on. So he passes out one more time on the way there after calling his wife to let her know we're headed for the hospital. So get him admitted, and about 25 minutes later, his wife arrives. And she goes in, and they come back and said, well, I wish it was a heart attack. Found a tumor in his brain. I'm really glad you were with him, because what if he'd been driving and then he passed out? So, very thankful of God's providence there. To spare anybody else from whatever is going on Tom. I guess he kept having seizures the following night. So they're trying to get that under control so they could do an MRI. They finally did that last night around 4, sometime after 4. And so they were glad. Just glad. See, the plan was get the MRI, more CAT scans, and come up with a plan to discuss on Monday. So I got a text late at night, like 1:45 in the morning, from his wife saying the scan seemed to show that he has an aggressive type of brain cancer. And don't make that public yet. So they are really free. They want to be open with the information, but that was just too premature. They don't know enough. They don't know to what degree it is, if it's spread or just what. So there's a lot of questions still unknown, but it's not a good prognosis. So everything I read after what she described, how she the label, it says it's incurable. So the question is, how treatable is it to prolong his life with some degree of quality? Cancer is a cruel thing. So expect to hear more in the days to come. But it was a very surreal experience having somebody just slump over in front of you. He remembers some things and not others. Alright, coming back to the end of the 4th Street Park. And approaching the ice skating rink to my right. So that was the experience of the week. Prayers with Tom. And then today I learned that our son Wayne and his fiance have set a wedding date of July 8th. And they're looking at an outdoor wedding and reception at the beach in Delaware, not real far from her home, which is not, I think it's a little north of Rehoboth Beach. I know they really weren't looking for an outdoor wedding, but a lot of churches recently have kind of feeling the need to be closed about the use of their facilities for weddings who aren't among members.
34 minutes, 16 seconds. Distance, 3 miles. Average pace, 11:25 per mile.
So they've been a little frustrated. I know our church is trying to address similar questions, but in a different manner. Problem is, you'll get varying opinions on what to do. So, anyway, glad to have them have a date firm and a location planned. Hoping there's no rain. July 8th. So there you have it. An update from Steve on this Sunday, October 23rd. The next thing on my calendar is the chimney sweep. It's the guy who cleans our chimney. He's scheduled to come over tomorrow at 2 o'clock to clean the pipes. That's interesting. In our wood stove, we have it's not a damper, but it kind of acts like a damper. You know, you slide it back and forth to allow heat to directly go up or for it to go around. Usually when you start the fire, you have it open so that way you get a nice updraft, and it provides some air to blow. Excuse the bus. It's heading to New York City. Getting off the Broad Street here. On the 3rd and away from the traffic. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the chimney. That's right. So there's a rod that was breaking. So I dropped the rod off at a welder friend's business. And so I have to reattach that. Should follow up and see what the story is on when he thinks that'll be ready. Because I know Margie was probably ready for a fire in the wood stove. So far we've just used a space heater. And because it's been fairly warm, I kind of need it for a few days and then not need it for a few days. All right, heading down the 3rd Street zigzag. One of the places that I run by, it's on a zigzag corner where the street doesn't go straight across, but there's an old hardware store and lumber yard called K&L. And not sure why they laid things out like they did, but notice there's fencing up around the old lumber storage area. So it looks like that's coming down. Margie said, oh, it's about time. Looks so bad, hasn't been kept up. Well, it's a shame, it's a landmark. But we thought maybe they'll change the road. Like that storage area gets in the way of the Hellertown Avenue and Park Avenue matchup. It's kind of an unsafe intersection. So we'll see. All right, on to Park Avenue. Of which we were just speaking. This coming Thursday, it's kind of funny, I scored a breakfast meeting with somebody I hardly know. It's kind of funny. There's a man that the church has had a relationship for a while. He used to attend there, who has a counseling center. And he called on Friday, maybe Thursday, to see if one of the pastors was in. So he wanted to have breakfast with him. And this gentleman had befriended me. Or friended me, I'm sorry, on Facebook. And I thought, that's odd. I really hardly know him. I know who he is, but I never really got to know him. And I said, hey, I noticed you've been doing some running lately. I've noticed the posts. And he said, well, I did a sprint triathlon. He said, I used to do the longer triathlons, but now that he's 75, he's doing the sprint variety. I said, okay, well, I'm running. I said, I'm kind of recovering myself. Told him I had a heart attack in February. He says, hey, would you like to get together for breakfast? So, sure. So Thursday morning, 7 a.m. at the Coopersburg Diner with Dr. Kelly. That's funny. Just was very out of the blue. But I like meeting people and chatting. So I think one time we were invited to his house as a family with several other families. And he has a pond on his property. And I remember the kids fishing in his pond, catching largemouth bass. More than I ever caught. So I'm not a fisherman. I don't catch things. But the kids did, and that was fun. He also had an ATV, four-wheeler. I got to drive that around his property as well. That is the limit of my experience with him. Alright, well, it's good to see people still posting race results from this weekend. See, Chicago Marathon was, I think, last weekend. And let's see. It's funny, Anna's birthday is Tuesday. She will be 18. Let's see, Anna Tuesday, 18. I was just reminded about something and forgot it just that quickly. Oh, I know. Her birthday is the 25th. And the year that we had 2 years back to back of crazy weather on the same day. So one year we had a freak snowstorm on October 29th. It was a heavy, heavy snow. Knocked things out all over. And Anna was having a birthday party where they were carving pumpkins. And even in the worst of the snow, when the roads are closed, a good number of her friends still showed up. Even though one of them was like 10 miles away. Yeah, that's pretty extreme for the conditions that day. And then the following year, it must have been 2011. And the following year, 2012, was Superstorm Sandy. It's just funny how they both were on October 29th. But the last few years have been calm. I smell charcoal or lighter fluid. Somebody's lighting up the grill. At 5:36.
Time 45 minutes, 42 seconds. Distance 4 miles. Average pace 11:26 per mile.
All right, I think I just said 4 miles. Muscles are feeling good and tired, so entering to the Q-Mart parking lot. I think I will walk the rest of the way.
Pausing workout.
Something new I'm trying.
Workout completed. Time
Is
46
there's an
minutes,
app
45 seconds.
called
Distance 4.09 miles.
Wahoo.
Average pace 11:26 per mile.
Hey, it's your pacer, Jenna, from Nike Plus Run Club Portland.
Hey,
No matter
Jenna.
what happens today, you gotta run in.
How about
No
that?
one can take that from you.
No one can take my run back from me. Very good. All right, well, what Wahoo is able to do is it syncs nicely with the other apps. Runkeeper, Map My Run, Strava. So it's really easy to share to those apps. The one that it's supposed to be able to do, but doesn't, is Nike Plus. I'm not sure why. It just kind of hangs and doesn't complete. So I came across this when I was looking up reviews for iSmooth Run, because that's what Carlos uses. So it's an app that costs $4.99 and seems like a lot for an app. So I still may go ahead and pull the trigger on that. I just haven't yet. So one of the nice features that Carlos uses is if you want to run at a certain pace, it will tell you you're running ahead, you're running behind, and you can adjust that way. So, it seemed like my pace. I've been trying to do a couple of slow runs at a 12-minute pace, but I keep running 11:30 pace. So even though I think I'm running slower, and something like that might help. But anyway, I was curious to see what information carried over from Wahoo, and all the stats that the apps use, so far that I can tell, carry over, at least for the free versions. So again, the app is Wahoo. It's really easy. You just hit share, and then you click on the apps you want to share it with, and it's done. It's a lot easier to do than pushing 3 or 4 buttons, which is my normal. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up my day with you. So we have, interesting. I'm looking at the Q-Mart. The face of the building has the sun shining on it, but high above the building is an American flag, and the sun is not shining on that. Almost seems backwards. Must be a cloud limiting part of it. So we're not too far from sunset. Sun's still up in the sky. Can't quite tell why the flag is not lit up. It just looks a little dull. Maybe it's just dull from sun bleaching. So Sunday here in Quakertown, just doing a few miles and enjoying the time with friends, so to speak. Well, no, not so to speak friends, but I mean with, so to speak, friends. There, how's that? Better? Maybe not. Anyway, everybody enjoy the runs this week. And really enjoying I've said this before, the Friends of the Seeker podcast photos are just, so many of them are top quality. So, and they're coming from all over. I think I noticed 2 separate locations in Sweden. One from Mats and another gentleman who just posted the one of a church in western Sweden. So scenery looks very much like it is here. All right. Till next time, take care, everybody.